Yeah, I haven't done this in a while, so I don't even know how to do this anymore. This
You
is
know, there's
season.
you got to start out with a certain phrase.
One
I know. I don't
specific
even remember this
phrase.
phrase. Um, how's everyone doing this evening? Is that it?
No, no, that doesn't sound right.
Salutations to all, and may the sun always rise in your direction.
Is that it?
Mm.
I think that might be it.
Sup with it. Welcome to Melee at Army. You are tuned into Season 6, Episode 3, When the Sand Hits the Fan. If you don't know what you're watching, this is Melee at Army. It's a podcast about the state of the Melee community. And we're global nowadays, but first and foremost, you should know the team who is on the call on this evening. First off, let's start off with our special guest representing Smash Europe. Introduce yourselves to the people.
Hello everyone, I'm Yuri. I'm a writer for Smash Europe, and I'm here to talk about European Smash Europe.
Okay. But I want to talk to someone whose hair rivals yours, Dr.Z. What's up?
What's up, man? It's all good here in NorCal.
Always a good thing. Next up, let's talk to someone I saw this weekend at SuperNebs 3. I guess it kind of rhymes. It's MDZ.
What's up, everybody? I'm doing great. I just got in from an awesome game of Mario Party 4 at my buddy's place. I took out Korean DJ. It's out the
Nice.
mini game star.
Yeah, boy.
Feeling good. Feeling good. How are y'all?
Always doing well, and always a pleasure to have you on the show. From MDZ to Daniel Lee. Tafo, how you doing?
Doing well. I'm actually moving places, so you don't see the iconic bookshelf behind me. So it's been exciting, though.
That iconic bookshelf that everybody knows.
Yes.
You missed it already.
Twitch icons everywhere have
Tafo
this
shop.
bookshelf.
And after Daniel Lee, why not? Double D, what's up? DarkDragoon.
Hi. Getting out from behind the scenes for this episode. I can talk about Sandstorm a bit later, but yeah, I don't know. It's nice to be behind a camera.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And I'm doing pretty well. Not too much to say. So with that, any PSAs from the individuals in this very room?
I have a couple. So
Well, I have one because Stupid Yoshi just subbed. Thank you, Stupid Yoshi, for joining the Melee Army family. I have not lost a step. What were you saying?
So got an exciting tournament in SoCal that actually has a $10,000 bonus prize pot.
Whoa.
Is that what you do when you're about to rage quit?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's really easy that you press start,
Cool. Tell us
and
a bit
then
about
there's a
Press
couple
Start,
other
Tafo.
buttons.
Okay, so it's an event at UC Irvine that I believe that their club is running. It's an esports event, so it features, I guess, more traditional games like League. But they also decided to run Melee, and they're sponsoring. So it's going to be really exciting. Registration ends Monday, though. They will have singles and doubles. You can go on their website, which I believe is startland.com, and sign up, but registration closes on Monday. And if you know TOs now and how big events are, they take no nonsense to late registration. So
That's right. And Tafo, tell the world who you owe $20 to and why.
So I owe a total of $20 to two different people. I don't remember who those two people I agreed to bet, but I do owe $40. I've narrowed it down to three people. I just don't remember who.
What was the
Sheridan,
bet?
Boback, and Julian. So I bet them $20 that they were gonna add people after registration. Of I'm not young.
And did that happen?
No, it didn't.
No, it did not. We're not joking around here, kids.
I
Sign
really-
up before the deadline, or you're not getting in the tournament.
I felt that they were going to have
yeah.
a sympathetic eye towards SUJ and Dunk, but apparently it didn't. So, but on the flip side, I won $40 off of Armada winning that tournament. So it's like money just transferred, and I evened out. And then my other PSA, by the way, since we want to move this along. When's Melee, a weekly article that comes out every Friday, is done by Dingus Master. He's probably in the Twitch right now. He's in almost every Twitch, along with like Flat
The
Bonita.
Twitch chat.
He wants to give a PSA just to say, if you want your tournament advertised in your stream to get more viewers, just contact him with your tournament on Twitch or message him on Twitter at SSBMDingus so that he can have the information and help you. So help him out so that he can help you. And those are my 2 PSAs.
All right. Anyone else in the group?
So, one of the things that a lot of us getting into Melee got excited by were the combo videos. And we haven't seen too many of those coming out as of late. So we have announced a combo video contest. Let's see, I'm trying to pull up the post here. Where is it? Where can we find that? We can find that in the Melee on Me Facebook group, correct?
Yep, but it's actually in the Twitch chat right now.
Oh, someone's got that in the chat. Thank you, guys. Perfect. So yeah, we are doing a combo video contest, and whoever gets us the best combo video, what do they get? Can you guys tell us what they get?
Well, Tafo, out of the kindness of his heart and his gentle spirit, will be giving $100 to the best individual combo video. And because I just want to see crew combo videos come back, $100 from me for the best crew combo video. We're going to have a panel of right now 5 judges, who I did not name in the article, but we'll name them now. It'll be myself, Tafikins, Melee Army's very own Toph, Papa Paint of BG Bootcamp, and, of course, one of the most celebrated individuals in combo video history, Lovage.
Oh.
That'll be on a future episode or on an off week of Melee Army in June. So.
And that's going to run until June 14th. You can email it over to meleeitonme@gmail.com.
Yep, and shout-outs to Yale, who did it first, just because of the tweets that we did before this article was released a couple weeks back, and they put out something. So shouts to Yale's Melee Games team, but we'll talk a bit about the Melee Games in a bit. Any more PSAs?
I would like to say that like 80% of all donations will go to the combo video contest. So we are paying number 1, but I feel that a lot of great entries are coming in. So if you donate, 80% of the funds will go to the upcoming video contest. Prog, do you want to give any advice on what makes a great combo video?
Oh, I wish I knew. Oh, wait, I do. Sorry, once in a while I have to feel myself. So let me feel myself for a second.
Feel away.
But yeah, yeah, a great combo video isn't just about the combo and the material for that. It's also about how it's put together, how it works with the music, the energy, all that stuff, It's a combo video isn't just about making your opponent look stupid and whatnot. There's a flair to it, and the flair of the video matches the flair that's expressed in song. As to combo video makers everywhere, you guys have inspired a lot of people over the years, so keep it up. It's not a tradition, don't we? And any other PSAs in the group? Thank you, NBC. You covered my PSA.
Mm-hmm.
You did my job for me.
I did your job? No, Prog, nobody can be you. You're the best at being you.
Yeah, I know. All right. I guess we don't have any PSAs.
Well, there was one thing that we saw that was Anthalden just subscribed for his 12th straight month. So thank you for staying in the family, dude.
Wow, that's...
Yo.
Hey!
What is going on?
Always with the grand entrance.
Where did you just
Robin
come
Hart.
from, Rob?
Out of thin air. I'm here.
Definitely got the RK out of nowhere, but Robin Harn is only R in age, not RK. Never mind. How's it going, Rob?
Good. Got back from an Avengers showing. It's pretty good. Let's
Okay.
talk Smash.
No spoilers. Good idea. No spoilers. All right. We just actually are finishing up PSAs. Do you have any that you want to talk about really quick?
No, not really.
Cool. All right. Well, let's talk about this ESC. So we have our guest once again. Hey,
Hello.
introduce yourself one more time, and let's talk about this a bit.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm Yuri, and I write for Smash Europe, but I'm also more of a producer for the European Smash circuit. We announced that last weekend at Drommeland, which is a tournament in Norway. Yeah, and it's basically going to combine all the large events that we have in Europe, one qualifier per country, and then players can compete for a position on the circuit ranking. And yeah, we're trying to stimulate competition throughout Europe with this circuit, and yeah, trying to make it easier for international viewers to follow along with developments in Europe, because that's something that I noticed. I think when I saw the Smash documentary, that really hit me. That the way that I experience Smash in Europe isn't seen in the same way in America, and I noticed that we weren't really included in the documentary that much. And I kind of blame myself for that, and because I don't think we put ourselves in the spotlight enough. So we want to, through the circuit, we want to raise more awareness for the European players and the big events that are going on throughout Europe.
Awesome. I always think that circuits are really, really good at elevating various events. Just because there's a certain prestige that comes with a circuit, a certain grandeur and gravitas that, really makes each one of those events matter. And, as we here in the States kind of learn more about these various international scenes, it is a really, really interesting way to link all of these players and events together by country. Because, everyone basically, I would say, that watches events, they know about the stars here in the States. And, while occasionally people do watch European players, it isn't with as much vim and vigor or even with as much interest for the most part. So I think this will definitely do a lot to develop awareness just entirely of the European scene. I think it's a great thing to build up to.
Yeah. That's also why I think it's like Armada threw all of the TOs and me in a group. And there we talked about how to improve the scene in 2015, and two concrete initiatives formed out of that. And one is the circuit, and the other was the website. And we're kind of combined. I think like the Smash Europe website is something that I've had in the back of my mind for a couple of years, but I never really found a web developer to actually get it done. But last year we did, and we launched it last January, and so far I think it's been going quite well. So we're trying to cover all the big events in Europe, and yeah.
So can you give us a timetable for when we can watch these events going down?
Yeah, I gave a slide with all the that contains all the events that are part of the circuit, and everybody can also go to smasheurope.com/circuit, and that shows the table. I don't know if you can show it on screen right now.
Yep, I'll pull it up for you.
And you have the first event coming up in France.
Yeah, next weekend already. Like not this Saturday, but Saturday after that. And Sue is actually coming to that. So it also means that we'll already have our first American participate in the circuit. That's kind of cool.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I love that you guys picked Zoo. Like he was so much fun to watch. So it'll be really interesting to see how he deals with a pal Falco, and just how he does against the international players out there.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does better than he did last week.
Ooh.
Ouch. Shots.
Wow.
Poor Zoo.
Was Avengers really that good?
Carry on.
Well,
I have a
yeah.
question. So I have dual American and Poland citizenship. Can I take over Poland and just be like the qualifier for Poland and just have a little tournament there and be the #1 player in my country and get seated in like some super bracket or something?
I actually think there's a scene developing in Poland, but
you gotta fight for it.
Right now.
Okay,
Sheridan.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we can also get Eichelman for Russia as well.
Yeah, well,
Just start
Eichelman
throwing people into the countries.
Eichelman is an interesting story, actually, because we revealed the circuit last weekend, and then he contacted me, I think it's on Monday or Tuesday or something, that he was interested in attending Air to the Throne, which is in August, and then Helix, which will take place in Germany in September, and then a week after that, Avalon in the Netherlands. So he's planning a Euro trip, and he actually launched a GoFundMe for that, and I think he already got like $1,000 for it. So.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. All he's good for is taking games off top players and bragging about it on social media.
Ouch. Is that
Is Avengers really that good?
Jesus.
Eek. Is that
Are
eminent?
some of your players getting drafted tonight? Actually, we'll talk at pick 23, Robin. But I think, do we have any more questions for this entire European Smash Circuit project from Twitch chat? Anyone in here?
Well, I'm curious. So, is there a point system? How does the circuit work? Like, is there a point system between players, and like you get seeded into a final bracket or something at the last event? How does that go?
Now we opted for to go for to treat each event equally. So there's no finale as of now, but you gain points for a ranking that you climb up on or you get down on, depending on your placement. And we've designed those points to award consistency over multiple events more than one good performance at one event.
Okay.
So I have a friend who is a mathematician who developed the numbers for it in a way that they work out that way.
Cool.
Yeah. We are building a pot during the circuit. We're taking around 15% of each single spot of each event. But we're launching grassroots, of course. So we're trying to get other sponsors involved and stuff, and that might increase the pot, but that's not confirmed or anything. So, but there will be a prize at the end of the circuit.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, I love that you guys have put this together. It's so cool. I can't wait to follow it and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah,
do you want to
it's also
shout
gonna be
out
very-
which Twitch channels everybody can see all this stuff on?
Yeah, we have two very professional streamers in Europe that both utilize action replay technology and stuff, and they are Geeky Goon Squad and Salty Playground. And, it kind of depends per event who will be streaming what. So Salty Playground will be streaming HF Lone next weekend. Then Geeky Goon Squad will be streaming Air to the Throne and also Helix probably. And then Salty Playground will be streaming Avalon again, and so on.
Cool. Yeah, I love Salty Playground.
Like, I know Chibo's in the chat. I know Gamer's probably around somewhere, but Salty Playground and Geeky Goon Squad are definitely doing some humongous things that everyone needs to watch their back for, because if everyone starts implementing that stuff, Smash will be so much more beautiful.
What stuff, Prog?
Things like action replay, how they use their icons in the UI. You know, the little things.
Okay.
It's the little things, Matt.Z.
Yeah,
things.
they take a lot of care for the quality of their stream, and they're constantly trying to come up with smart, innovative ways to display information in a better way. And, yeah, I really like that about them. And I really, personally, really like working with UCK, who runs Salty Playground, because he always streams Avalon. And, he puts in so much work during those events. I remember when we had to show a teaser for the circuit and an HFLAN trailer and a documentary of Avalon. And during the day, we had to fix so much for that he still took the time to do that, even though he was streaming. So it was incredible.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So Dromeland is also part of the circuit, of course, from 5.0 in November. And then Awesome Fights in Spain, which is kind of a new event, but the host of that also hosted Hidden Stump. And Spain hasn't had that many large events, but these are really the larger ones out there. And then Beast in January, of course. So no European circuit is complete without Beast. So.
Awesome. I hope that we see the Spanish players really come back in full force, because I know a lot of people have probably forgotten about how good Overtry Force is, but hopefully that we'll see. I hope we'll see.
Has he been inactive? I haven't seen him in results recently.
That's what I'm wondering as well.
Yeah, what's he been up to?
Saw him streaming Mario Party earlier today, so hoping everything's good.
Yeah.
Talking about international players that we don't
Which
really...
means he's going to win the next
see
major, because Mango streams All-Star and then wins majors, and then he doesn't win majors.
Okay, Mango All-Star is actually absolutely amazing. But anyways, speaking of international players that we haven't really seen much of or know what's been up recently with them, we had Mr. Jeapie out in the States last week and this week as well. He'll be at a tournament this Saturday, Redfish at Rensselaer Polytech. I don't know what the stream is, but I can find it out. But he was at last week's event, Super Nebulous 3, right out in New York City. That was a absolutely insane tournament. He ended up getting 7th place at that.
Yeah.
Stick with it.
Yeah, let's talk a bit more about SuperNebs. SuperNebs was pretty dope. It was at 118 Baxter Street, Chinatown, New York City, New York. And it was really put together by, of course, the Nebulous crew. Of course, yourself, Matt.Z, doing some great things for the Melee games at that event.
Mm-hmm.
And the crew over at Smash GG.
Yeah, they did a lot of work. Smash GG. If you were at that tournament, you saw Smash GG running all over the place. There's 5 or 6 of them with their zip-up jackets and with their laptops running around, having people report their pools, their stages, characters, stocks remaining, everything. It was very interesting, very cool process, and they were a huge help.
Matt,
to have
were you part of the process, doing the seeding and all the stuff on the UI from Smash GG that weekend? Or did you take a big part in that?
I did not have a big part in that, no. Most of that was handled at the event by the Nebulous team. The biggest parts that I had a hand in were seeding round 1 pools and the top 32 bracket that I just kind of had a little bit of assisting with, but it was mostly the Nebulous folks that were on top of that part of the event.
I could not for the life of me figure out how to get the seating page to refresh after we were doing drag and drop, moving people around at our tournament the same day.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if there was some sort of secret that you guys did not tell me about that.
About refreshing the seating page? No, I
Apparently
don't.
not.
I don't recall any issues that we had specifically with that.
A lot of stuff is
Yeah,
gotten fixed.
We'll talk to him next week. I like our weekly meetings.
All right,
Always a
well,
lot to discuss.
we'll get back to it. I also see the main TO for the event. Of course, Mr. Hector Hertz himself, a.k.a. East Coast Sheridan. Dude, man, you guys have, like, the best wardrobe.
Pajama pants.
I suppose.
I made a bet with somebody when Jesse showed up to, we went to get mac and cheese on Friday before the tournament. And I made a bet with Hello, who is one of the TOs at the event, about whether if he was going to show up in jeans or pajama pants. And he showed up in sweatpants, so, like, in my mind, I won. But we decided that we didn't account for sweatpants.
That should be a wash. You clearly specified
I think
jeans
clearly
versus pajamas. Sweatpants could be.
I think sweatpants are clearly on one end of the
What's
spectrum.
the ruling, Sheridan? Yeah.
I mean, I think I would give like 80%. It's like 80% of the way to pajama pants, in my opinion. So he
but
should get 80%.
you know, the jeans represent you can go out in public and you know it's the common thing. Sweatpants, you can do that. I'd say it's 50-50. It should be a wash, and you should give that man your money back, Matt. That's
No,
what
I didn't take anybody's money. No, we agreed to that it didn't count. No, we agreed we didn't specify for sweatpants, so the bet was off.
Okay.
I respect that. But, yeah, you know, Smash GG definitely helped out with getting a lot of people there. I mean, of course, we all know about UCB. Am I right, MDZ?
Oh my god, Berkeley, dude. They did so well in the Melee games.
West Coast.
They took it. Okay,
NorCal.
as much as I love Berkeley, they actually did really well in the bracket with one of their players, Ralph, getting 9th place in top 32. And a couple, I think Delphiki got 25th in top 32. I don't know about the other Berkeley guys. I don't see them on the
probably
list.
Be the next.
No, Glitter didn't make it.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I don't. Glitter was in my round 2 pool. I got 2nd seed over him. Yeah, so those were the 2 that made it in. But Ralph did real work. He beat me and DJ Nintendo. DJ Nintendo got 25th.
Boppers had a really close set with Kirby Kazu.
Yeah, Bops, dude. Who'd he lose to?
Wait, who?
DJ Nintendo.
Who did DJ Nintendo?
DJ
lost
Nintendo.
He lost to Ralph and then
he got
Disco
wrecked.
Boogie.
Damn.
I ended up playing Boogie in round 1 winners, and it was close, but I ended up taking it. And then so Boogie just wobbled DJ and losers.
Oh, get wrecked.
Yeah, DJ was not feeling it too. After he lost to Ralph, he was not a happy DJ Nintendo.
Get Ralphed.
Get Ralphed. Dude, I got Ralphed too.
Dude, there were multiple Melee games crew battles, right? Before before the final, Berkeley versus
8.
UMD.
We had 8 total crew
Dude,
battles.
I heard at SuperNebs there were 8 crew battles.
Yes.
Holy crap!
We did 7 in about.
Wow.
We did
I
7
thought there
in
were
about
like
5
3 or
hours.
4.
No,
Okay,
there's 8.
never mind. Can you tell me about? I heard Rainex versus SG, York
Yes.
versus UMD. Came down to 4 stocks versus 4 stocks.
Yeah.
And I heard Rainex choked a fat one.
That was.
Tell me about that.
So that was the East Coast Division Grand Finals, Ontario versus Maryland, and yeah, like you said, it
I
was.
could not believe it when I heard that. For SG clutched it out, 4 stocks versus 4 stocks versus Rainex.
That's
at
crazy.
the very end.
Either.
That's just like whoa.
And Rainex did super good work in their previous match of the day up against Stony Brook, who won the Tri-State Division, where Rainex took what, 8 stocks, 10 stocks or something?
He was Greg Jennings. I think he took 11 stocks. He put the team on his back.
He did so well.
Oh.
And so when he goes up against SG, we're thinking like, Well, you did good, Maryland.
Done deal.
You know.
Should be.
And
Should be a done deal.
4 stocks of Fox on Battlefield, and
That's
it seems
Raynex's
like-
matchup.
I know.
Unknown
Raynex-
522 could not come back at a better time.
It
Apparently-
seems like he started to maybe get a little bit nervous because there are tons of nerves on the line in crew battles, and especially as your anchor and you get to go to grand finals, national finals, and be the first national championship school. That's a lot of pressure, and I mean there was a lot of pressure on SG too, but it looked like Raynex kind of made more knee-jerk moves than SG did. And SG managed to take it. I think it was a 2 stock. Let me check the bracket.
So
Wow.
I think what's pretty crazy. So I think
No, it was a 1 stock. 1 stock.
So,
So what? I think what I really liked about Berkeley is I felt that every counter pick they did was the correct move. Like if you look at their last 2 crew battles, I think that like deciding on the right player to put in the right stage, like can easily swing a crew battle like 2 to 3 stocks. And so I believe there's peanut phobia, and I thought it was like the absolute right choice for them to send in a pup to soak up Yoshi, because Yoshi against Spaceys could go disastrous. I mean, you get hit by enough, you get juggled and you can just die. But like Jimmy Pup is like a character that you trade hits 1 for 1. And so Warwick Foe, like arguably like one of their like not so skilled players, traded stocks with peanut phobia, and I felt that like used all 5 of their players like almost perfectly every crew battle.
And that's not just any Yoshi. Peanut Phobia took 10 stocks against UMass Amherst, as Yoshi took 10 stocks. So you're right. That could definitely, if you don't have Yoshi experience, or if you're a Spacey, that can really wreck you, and it can work in their favor. So it was very smart to put in sort of like a trader, and you see that a lot with matchups like Puff or Samus going in, or Peach. Those characters are your biggest, they'll trade stocks for you and kind of just eliminate somebody who might be a problem that is not going to be able to win the match completely cleanly against another floaty. So it's really smart to put that in when you're in a situation like that.
Yeah. And then I also like that Delphiki was gonna clearly take a lead, and I think that made everybody on Berkeley a lot relaxed, because when he has a 2-stock lead, when he creates a 2-stock lead for your crew and you're not tied every time, it makes everything less stressful for the rest of your team. And so I really like that by them. And Ralph is just a stone cold killer. That dude does not get nervous.
He's a pretty monster.
He's closed out.
Did you say he has a first-person shooter background or something that makes him not be nervous in tournament?
He just has a really good mindset, and I think he previously won a Call of Duty collegiate event for Berkeley against other schools, so he's familiar with pressure situations. Whereas I think a lot of these other people that are in crews, they're mid-tier players, so they probably have never experienced a grand finals or I don't know, an end of tournament scenario where everything is on the line for a huge prize. And Ralph's been there, so he made a lot of the right moves, and he played 90% to his potential, in my opinion, in each of these closeout matches. It's like a closer in baseball where the game is tied, and you have to have a certain type of person to execute in that situation. And I believe Ralph is one of those type of people.
Okay. Well, going on with that,
dude, Berkeley could have been dead against Santa Cruz 5 crew battles ago when Pew Pew went in first. That was whoa, that very interesting move. If they had sent in a Spacey, a mid-level player, Pew Pew could have easily taken 6, 7, 8 stocks, but instead Delphiki made sure that the damage was limited. I think they got away with 1 stock.
What happened?
Took 3 stocks from Pew Pew and then cleaned up the very next counter pick. So they got rid of him right away. They might not even be at the East Coast if that counter pick war hadn't happened and gone down.
Well, Delphiki took 3 stocks on FD with Ice Climbers, and then Ralph went in and took a stock on Yoshi's, and it was a pretty fortunate stock, but Ralph lost 1, but it was a pretty fortunate stock nonetheless with some rando play involved. But he took it.
Yeah. So impressive to them. They won the first ever Melee games. They've definitely played really smart, and all their players like carry their weight. And so, yeah, looking forward to the next one next year.
And I do just want to say, thank you to everybody who donated to and make the tournament possible.
Oh, yeah.
We had $7,600 donated to fly out. All of the people that we did, Alan, Homemade Waffles, S2J, Lucky, Wizroad, Jeapie, Nunn, and the 5 Melee Games players from Berkeley, which was crazy. We did that in about 2.5 weeks. I couldn't believe it. So thank you to everybody that donated, and I hope you're enjoying your swag. These shirts are super comfortable. I wish my video was working because I'd show you the Melee Games Championship shirt that we got, and they are gorgeous and comfortable, and I love them. So thank you to everybody, and we'll see you in the fall with the Melee Games. I hope you got excited and look forward to that.
Sick with it.
Models.
And shout outs to the East Coast being busters and having West Coast not only win teams but be the only people in grand finals.
Yeah, S2J Lucky first, S2J second, and Lucky S2J won doubles.
They won the Melee Games. They won teams. They were both in grand finals.
Second round robin.
Get bopped.
Yeah, I mean, West Coast really came with their A game this weekend. I mean, Lucky was playing out of his mind. S2J, of course, had his long run. And, I feel like there are two kinds of tournaments that are very interesting at this point. It's the ones where at least 4 of the top 6 are attending, or when none of the top 6 are attending, but like a good 12 to 20 of the top 30 are there. And this was one of those events. We had players in contention for big spots, like S2J, like Lucky, like Hacks, Nintendo, so on and so forth. So, I think the tournament definitely lived up to that. Kirby Kaze as well. It definitely lived up to that kind of ideal, because it was as on paper as people might look on it. There is that kind of division where a lot of those upper spots can be swapped around, and it felt that way. I mean, Nintendo, for example. Who would expect Nintendo, let alone getting 3rd place at an event with as many talented Foxes, Falcons, so on and so forth there? He's in winners finals. A player like Zoo, Digi Nintendo going down relatively early. Everyone's on notice nowadays, and I love it at events like this.
Yeah, Zoo lost to.
Dude, Nintendo almost didn't make it out of Phase 2 pools. That was about to be real unfortunate.
Shout outs to Mafia, dude. Did you see that clutch turn up that Mafia got to win it on Nintendo? Holy moly!
No, I didn't see it. But
he was in a I
heard there was an OTT tiebreaker to settle that best of 3.
So he beat Lamb Chops, which of course. So he beat Lamb Chops in the best of 1, and then he played against Nintendo, and Nintendo held a solid lead the entire game on Dreamland at a Peach Ditto. And Mafia pulls a turn up. He's at 170, and he pulls a turn up. Nintendo's at like 10. And Mafia gets a Stitch and wins it.
Ouch!
That's really unfortunate.
Yes, it
depending
was.
or fortunate, depending on how you look at it.
I loved it.
All right. Well, I guess I just want to again thank Hectohertz for putting on this great event. I said it in one of the write-ups about the Nebula series that New York City has not had a really, really good venue in terms of location, accessibility, size since Web2 Zone. And, this really is a fantastic venue. It's done great things for the New York scene, so... of course, if you're interested, it is a weekly event on Saturdays. It is at 118 Baxter Street in Chinatown, New York City, New York. Basically, every train that goes to Canal Street, it's right nearby there. So check it out someday. Actually, I'm thinking about stopping by for a little bit on Saturday, but we'll see. And again, congratulations to Lucky, who was phenomenal. A lot of people are expecting a 6-0 in grand finals, and S2J was able to squeeze out that one game, but it didn't even look like it was a fair fight, to be honest, for most of it.
Yeah, I won €2 from Jeapie for 5 euros from Jeapie for betting on S2J.
Of course, you
So
signed
you're
up
gonna have to go to Europe.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend that money, dude.
You gotta spend that money. So buy like a $500 or whatever number dollar plane ticket to Europe and spend those €5. It'll be worth it.
It will. I'll get some nice chocolate.
And also, I'm a liar.
All right, shall we move on?
I heard the menu actually is having issues because the Mortal Kombat tournament yesterday was canceled. So there is no Nebulous this week. Come back next week.
Okay, so yeah, let's move on.
Okay, well, next up on the agenda, we're going from SuperNebs to the deserts of Arizona. We're going to talk a bit about Sandstorm and MVG, and I guess this is a humongous subject for our very own Double D on the scene.
Yeah, so I was essentially the main organizer and head TO for MVG Sandstorm.
What's that noise?
That
Is someone using a trash dispenser or something?
I don't know. I blame Matt. Yeah, so so I was essentially the head TO and logistics guy for Sandstorm.
Uh-huh.
And it was my first time working with MVG on something like this big. I'm not part of MVG. I just saw that they were going to be putting on a big event in Arizona, where I reside right now, and I saw what they were trying to do, and I'd worked with them at a smaller like local level thing before, and I just knew I had to help them with it because they're very inexperienced with running events. They first came to me and said, "Hey, we want to run, a two-game regional, Melee and Smash 4. We want to double the size of our local tournament, which we got 120 players in each Melee and Smash 4. So I said, okay, we can do that, but I would not recommend doing it as a one-day regional because they wanted to run a Sunday one-day regional. And you can't get people to show up for a Sunday one-day regional in Arizona. You just can't. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't see it happening personally. So they extended it out to 2 days, and then the local PM community, I guess, was promised by MVG. So this is where the disconnect between the people hosting the tournament and the people running the tournament started really happening, and it was kind of the beginning of the problems. MVG made promises, to PM community that they would have a PM event at Sandstorm. And then they wanted doubles to be at Sandstorm. So we ended up with a 6-event tournament in 2 days. So I immediately, nothing against PM, but, I saw the logistical issues and I said, are we absolutely sure we have to have PM? The answer is yes. And because, it's not actually my event to make all the final calls on, I had to just roll with the punches there. So we add PM. I make the rule that no one's allowed in any more than 2 doubles and 2 single events. And then, that's it. Like, as long as everyone sticks to that rule, everything should more or less work out. We had online registration. It was supposed to be all done online. Then eventually MVG, Greg mostly from MVG, a lot of players had, they weren't able to register online through their system that they put up, which is weird because all you need is a credit card. All they used was a Stripe setup, and I used that at work through Weebly, and it's super simple. So I'm not sure what the issue was, but I didn't have direct access to live registration. I had to get these massive spreadsheet outputs from MVG's tech guy, once every couple of weeks, and I'd use that to track how registration's going and what games need how much attention, and I do all the manual sorting and everything myself. I built the MVGSandstorm.com site so that people at the event could see what was going on. It's something else. But at the end of the day, you can really just chalk a lot of the issues up to MVG was inexperienced. They hired out, people like me and all the ASU TOs, to run the event. But then we didn't have absolute power over the event. So when things came up, like when the venue came to us at 10 o'clock at night during, Melee Top 8 and said, hey, by the way, the breakers are on a timer and they turn off automatically at 11:30. I hope you're out by then. We were just going by what MVG said when they told us, we had until midnight, which I guess, was going by what he was told, but it's a game of telephone at that point. So having run other events, still smaller, but having run them, having absolute control over your event can really prepare you for a lot of the scenarios that, you could have otherwise prevented.
So what changes would you make? I mean, what changes could you have made knowing everything, if you had known everything, to make this better? Like if you had the knowledge that you did, or, what could you do next time? Or is it, out of your hands and it's somebody else needs to make those decisions and enable you to do things the way you need to do? So kind of explain that, I think, to everybody.
Yeah, I did everything I could to keep that event, moving and afloat. Without me, I'm not sure what MVG would have done as far as registration and everything was concerned. The first big delay on the first day was none of the name tags were ready. So I got there at, I was up to 3 or 4 a.m. on Friday or Saturday morning, finishing a registration list that, the people at the check-in desk would use, check off the names, make sure they're there. So this way, if TOs are wondering, hey, this person isn't showing up for pools, are they here? We can tell them, no, they never checked in. Don't worry about them, they're DQ'd. So I had to delay the check-in process an hour to fold and, create all the name tags, with help of other people, because there was 500 name tags that need to be made, and we had to do it in under an hour. Yeah, so that was the first major delay. The other thing I would definitely do is just, if I had final say over everything, I would have made sure that, the Smash 4 and the PM schedules, because they had roughly the same entrance, their schedules really needed to be completely in sync. Because no matter what, between Smash 4 and PM, if one of them got out of sync, it would just really affect the other. For the most part, Melee was never affected by any of it. There was
because of the crossover data, right?
Yeah, it was the crossover. Most of the people at the event were there for Melee, and you kind of saw it with the unfortunate happening with PM Grand Finals, where it's Westballs versus Hungrybox in PM Grand Finals, and their commitment was to Melee, and unfortunately, because of how things went down, Westballs kept winning, Hungrybox kept winning.
Hungrybox probably, he shouldn't have even been allowed into that event, right? Because there was supposed to be a 4-event cap. So whoever allowed that, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a short-term benefit at a very high cost.
Yeah, no. Mewtwo King had registered for PM doubles and Smash 4 singles, and ended up, because the Smash 4 TOs are doing double signups at the event to get more doubles entrants, he ended up sneaking on there because the guy doing the signups wasn't aware of Mewtwo King or of the rule, one or the other. Not sure.
And then he dropped out of Melee.
Yeah, then he dropped out of Melee.
Right. Yeah.
After we held his portion of the bracket up for about an hour. It was interesting, but it's whatever. That was definitely more drama than it needed to be.
Yeah. One last question. Can you talk about these crazy rumors? Maybe I'm leading you too much, but I think they're crazy rumors about somebody sabotaging grand finals.
Yeah,
Wasn't it Colonel Mustard in a living room with a candlestick?
Yeah, no. No one sabotaged anything. I was standing right at the front. I was staring at the TV with a megaphone in my hand, ready to tell everyone to get out of the building because I don't want the lights to turn off and everyone fall downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And no one was moving a muscle. Like if anyone sabotaged that setup, then it was done like Solid Snake level, like infiltration. Like there's just no way.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Basically, M2K making stuff up again, right?
He claimed he was 90% sure.
Yeah, I mean
that
90%.
Literally
90% for M2K
90%.
is like 9% in
Right.
actual, adjusted value.
Yeah.
I mean, Mewtwo King was sitting, pretty close to the front row where the setup was. So if something happened, he could have seen it, but really no one was moving. The plugs weren't really accessible to anybody. If it was really just as simple as someone unplugging the equipment, it wouldn't have taken as long as it did to get everything back up and running.
So you're saying it was Red Bar?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was. I don't know. It was the icing on the cake, essentially. Like I was finally like starting to relax after having to rush like loser semis and everything, and we getting into game 3. It was about to be over, and we had plenty of time, and then it just shuts off, and it was just really weird. It's definitely weird enough that a paranoid person could see it as being sabotage, but there's just no way. There's no.
I guess like here's my issue with it. Like, so there are two things. Like, there are things you can control, and there are things you can't, right? And it just seems like people like in the post like reports that I've like heard from people, it's like making just excuses where like I look at like Robin and Sheridan in this chat room, like they're preemptive enough to not make these errors, like where you don't talk about mistakes happening and them apologizing like for like everything because they're prepped, like they know like the contingencies to everything, and that's just like my worry about MVG going ahead. It's like they're like so lackluster in the details that these things, like I expect them to happen now at MVG. It's like the attitude for that TV coming out. It's like, oh, like why am I not surprised? Like is like the impression I leave with.
Yeah. So the MVG folks, they, like you said, they're not aware of all the contingencies that the people running the TOs like me and all their local Arizona TOs that were working on the event. We had tons of contingencies set up, and we were completely prepared for almost anything. There was a couple things that we just like the stream turning off randomly, like that was outside of the TO control. That was all on MVG and their equipment, but yeah, so MVG would panic about some things. I would constantly have, Greg coming up to me, like, worried about something, and I have to tell him, like, it's okay. I have a plan for this. Here's, like, this extra, plan B schedule I have written out, and here's plan C in case we need to resort to that. And, that would calm him down until, like, the next fire started, and then, repeat. But yeah, it's really just a disconnect. He basically, he'll pay for a tournament to run, and I've talked to him about it since Sandstorm. It was a very, very, very big learning experience for him. But all he's really going to do is just put money in the hands of the TOs that he trusts and just take a step back and let it run itself. So, for instance, the Colorado event coming up, I don't know those TOs at all, but, MPG and Greg, they trust him to run an event, and I guess, we'll see how they run it, now that MVG is going to be completely hands off.
Right. Well, I'm actually going to happen to be at that tournament. I'm going to Denver for that one. It's on May, what is it? May 16th and 17th in Denver, Colorado. It's Revelation 2, and it's looking like a pretty stacked event. A little concerned about a couple things, so I have a call with the TO later on to discuss some stuff. Like, currently, my biggest concern is that it's going to have Melee Smash 4 and PM, and there is no capping. So you're going to have people who enter multiple events. And Mewtwo King's going, of course, because MVG slapped their name on it. And that's not going to be fun for anybody.
How many events have been run successfully with those 3 games since Smash 4 came out? I honestly don't know if there has been one.
I honestly can't think of one.
It's just like TOs are just kind of like, oh, biggest games, boom, let's do it, and not really coming up with a plan. It's very concerning.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm going to be talking with that TO. I'm really hoping that I can help that event go a little bit better than it is currently looking. But nonetheless, it should be pretty fun. I guess it's going to be a major for that area. And there's, I think, Zero and Axe are going. Or no, Zero can't make it anymore or something like that. But Axe should be coming too. I'm not sure who the other big names attending are. Oh, Hungry Box, Zoo, and Taj are coming. But yeah, so I mean, the event itself should be pretty fun. You get MVG qualifier points. What's that about? What's an MVG qualifier?
I like in my talks with Greg and MVG, I told them to really just like slow their roll. Because like I said, they went from their local tournament in Arizona to trying to double it with the next event like 3 months later, and that's way too fast for not having a dedicated central team. He wanted to run a national by like a national like Big House level or Big House 4 level, I guess. By like August or September or something crazy like that, and I wasn't.
Unfortunately, you have to do more than just get a big venue and throw money at things.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he's delayed that off to 2016. So in that case, I'm still not sure what the circuit points are really worth at that point, seeing as it's that far away. But they haven't taken the notion of circuit points down yet, and I don't know. I mean, the one thing I do want to impress upon everyone is that as weird as it looks as an outsider, looking at MVG, like if you just talk to Greg or something and like just get to know like the guy behind it, it doesn't feel like he means any harm. It doesn't feel like he's trying to like kick anybody out of the Smash community or like usurp anybody's seat as a big tournament. He just wants to host big events. The downside is that he doesn't really know exactly what that entails, and he's still very much in the learning process. So it's very, very bumpy as he tries to learn really, really fast. But it's really just a case of wait and see. If MVG and Greg stick to their word and plan of scaling everything back and getting a solid foundation before just building something up really fast and hoping it works out.
Right. Okay. Well, guys, it's about that time. 60-minute episode tonight. Going a little bit over, but not by too much. If you haven't heard the news, Super Smash Con. Registration actually went live this week, so check out their website, their Twitter. If you're interested, register, do all that stuff, get your hotel room. Don't forget to pack deodorant, all that good stuff.
And wash your hands. And don't come to the tournament if you're sick. Please, for the love of God. We will refund your money.
Do I detect some salts from the I'm Not Yelling virus?
I got sick and I'm not yelling from some shitlord. I don't know who it was. And then at NWM7, my girlfriend got sick. These dirty smashers, they're out there. You don't know who they are, but they're out there. You gotta be careful. You know,
I think the solution is we hire a bouncer and we don't let anyone in who's not, you know.
Yeah.
Dude, did we ever find Agent 1 for Apex? Because I left that tournament thinking, like, I finally went to an East Coast National, and I did not get sick. And then 3 days later, on Thursday, I got the flu.
Ouch.
Who was it?
Who was it? I don't know.
Do you know Mike Moscato? He's from Long Island. I can't remember his tag off the top of my head.
Is he Obi-Wan Jabroni?
I think so.
Banned from the next NorCal tournament.
Well, he's from Long Island, so he's not even going to Long Island tournament. Shots fired at Long Island. But I think we're just about done. Really quick, wrapping up. Juggleguy, anything happening this weekend with you?
Not much. It's just going to a local. It'll be a Netflix catch-up weekend. There's not a whole lot going on.
There you go. I'm on that 30 Rock grind myself.
I respect that wholeheartedly, Matt.Z. Next up, Dr.Z.
Nothing. I'm starting a training program which will get me a job pretty soon, and it starts next week, and I'm preparing for that. It's for data science, and it's
Jeopardy winning.
So the Jeopardy online test was a couple weeks ago, and I destroyed it. I got like 44 out of 50, I think.
If you ever get called on Jeopardy, when Alex interviews you, you have to talk about Smash, please.
Oh yeah, certainly.
You have to.
No, because he might. Sheridan, don't say you might get up there, get some stage fright. You start talking about either black holes or sweatpants. Alex is gonna completely love you for that.
Well, you know, if I keep winning, then I'll eventually get around to all of it.
Okay.
But you got to start with Smash in case you go 1 and out.
Okay. All right.
Good deal.
Dude, Sheridan's not a scrub lord, dude.
Sheridan will
it's about strategy too. If you don't get the right Final Jeopardy category,
there was a guy lately who went all in daily double every time, and he won like 6 straight games. It was incredible. And anyway,
are you talking about the guy that was hunting for the daily doubles?
Yeah.
No, there's this guy like last week.
I didn't catch it last week.
Last couple of weeks. Yeah, just insane.
Double D. Anything happening with you this weekend?
Same thing, just Arizona locals. Nothing big. We're starting up locals at the Endgame bar that we did locals at back in January or February, and we're probably going to try to make that a consistent thing.
Pretty good. I'll see you later on next month. Next up, Tafakins.
Tomorrow I have off, which is really nice, so I'm going to be moving and chilling with the Riot Gang. And then Saturday is Mayhem, so that's going to be exciting. I'm going to start a 6-month journey with Mike Hayes where we're going to team with each other every tournament and try to gain synergy.
All right.
Nice. I'm a fan.
So, yeah.
MDZ. Where are you, Matt?
Rip.
He gone.
He actually left.
He pieced.
Ralph spiked him.
Right.
Oh my God, we need to link that in the chat. Ralph versus MDZ. This is the new remember Birdo versus we're not talking about that. Remember Birdo versus Pew Pew?
Yes.
That classic 2-minute set.
The 3-minute set.
This is the new one. MDZ versus Ralph. I did not think it was possible, but
no.
I'm pretty sure that set ended in 2 minutes and 40 seconds if the YouTube timestamp is correct.
My God.
I came back to the call at the best time, apparently. Oh man, that was a rough one.
2 minutes 11 seconds. Just looked it up.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that's a set.
I didn't feel very good in that matchup. I was just
except he cheated because he only lost 2 or 3 stocks each of the games.
3 stocks. No, 2 stocks game 1, 1 stock game 2. I got bodied.
We love you, Matt.
Yeah. You beat
Last
Disc
round
Giving
least.
us moments like this.
Let's
Yeah,
go
I
across
know,
the
right?
sea. What's up over there? What's going on in Europe right now? Anything going on big this weekend?
Sorry? Oh, you're asking me?
Yes.
Yep.
Ah, cool. No, there's no tournaments this weekend actually. I'm gonna tune into Bluefish probably, because it's the last tournament that Jeapie is going to before he comes back to Europe.
Okay.
Wait, that
But
should
no,
be
this-
fun. I can't wait to watch that tournament.
Yeah, me as well. But no, I don't think there's any tournament coming up this weekend. So it's HF1 next weekend, I think.
Okay. Always nice thing to have a respite, and I will be having that myself. Because I'm not even going to a marble tournament this weekend. I'm just staying in, doing spring cleaning, and hating that I have allergies. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been tuned in to Season 6, Episode 3 of Melee It On Me. Of course, my name is Prog. Thank you for tuning in. I don't have the catchphrase anymore. Sheridan, fill in the blank.
We outwitted.